Hi, everyone. Welcome to the weekend and the Friday edition of Source 16 News. I'm Eddie Owen. Topping our news, a car crash in Cheatham County, Tennessee has left a Hopkinsville hairdresser and her son dead, and her boyfriend in critical condition at Vanderbilt. Tiffany Rodriguez was driving along the Ashland City Highway in Cheatham County Thursday afternoon when, according to police, she turned into the path of an approaching SUV. Rodriguez apparently didn't see the SUV and the two collided. Rodriguez was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. Her son, 11-year-old Joshua Reyes, died at the scene of the accident. Rodriguez's boyfriend, 54-year-old Lewis Higgins, also a Hopkinsville native, was taken to Vanderbilt University where he is listed in critical condition. Another child, a 6-year-old daughter, was in the car but was not seriously injured and was released to the care of the grandparents. Rodriguez was the former owner of Urban Lily in downtown Hopkinsville, and although she was living in Ashland City, she continued to be a hairdresser here, working at Natalie's salon. Owner Natalie Allison says it was Rodriguez who inspired her to follow her dream.
Tiffany was a worker here and a very good friend. She inspired me to be a cosmetologist at the age of 43. It was February 15th, 2004. I was getting my hair done. And we were talking and she said, if you want to do it, go for it. You're never too old to change your life. And she was a great inspiration. And she's the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing now. And I love her for it. So, it's never too late to change your life until you take your last breath. We just want all of her customers to know that there's probably going to be terrible expenses and that if anyone wants to donate to the family, they can leave the donations here and we will be sure that the family gets the donations.
If you would like to make a donation, you can drop those off at Natalie's Salon, 300 North Drive in Hopkinsville. An afternoon fire caused extensive interior damage to a Cerulean home. Officials told Source 16 the cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but it may have been caused by a faulty air conditioning unit that was recently installed at the 1160 Rasco Road residence in northern Christian County. The homeowners were not at home when the fire started, and officials say no one was injured as a result of the blaze. Westside fireman Brian Warman explains the details of the fire.
It looked like the fire started 11:05, which is my counterpart. Showed up before the engine, got a lot of it knocked out with a fire extinguisher. We pulled our engine up, packed up, got some water, went inside, sprayed out some hot spots. It's pretty significant. I'm not sure, it's not really my say to say whether it's a total loss or not, but pretty much all the rooms have been affected by the smoke, especially the living room, and all the furniture in the living room's a total.
Firefighters from Cerulean, Gracie, and Westside fire departments were on the scene for over 2 hours. Well, the 101st Airborne Division welcomed a new brigade commander today at the local post. Here's Marie Fainter with more details about the change of command ceremony.
Well, it's a tough day, but you know, all good things must end. And again, I was proud to be handing it over to RJ Lillibridge, really, because you know, of his past combat records and his tremendous leadership. So it's a sad day, but it's a good thing knowing that a great guy is going to come in and take your place. The best thing I remember about Fort Campbell is the closeness of the folks around here and how they treat the military consistently with dignity and respect, and especially when we need it most during a time of our deployments. The community comes together to take care of our families. That's what's best about Fort Campbell.
Colonel Luong will be moving to California to pursue a Stanford fellowship. Political campaigns are heating up as Kentuckians go to the polls this fall to elect all major state offices. In the race for governor, incumbent Steve Beshear faces opponent David Williams, Republican president of the Senate, who is running with Agriculture Commissioner Richie Farmer in the lieutenant governor spot. Current Lieutenant Governor Daniel Mongiardo is not seeking re-election, and five-time former Louisville Mayor Jerry Abramson has joined the Democratic ticket. Abramson visited with Source16 today, and we asked him what he thinks the biggest challenges facing the Commonwealth over the next 4 years include. He also commented on the transition from governing on the city level to a statewide office. You can see the complete interview with Mayor Jerry Abramson next week on The Scene. 8th District State Representative John Tilley has been presented the 2011 Public Advocate Award in recognition of his leadership in passing this year's landmark corrections reform. Tilley of Hopkinsville was presented the award by the Department of Public Advocacy at a kickoff luncheon for the Kentucky Bar Association. Tilley, the chief sponsor of the new law, said receiving this award was humbling and added that many had a role in the writing and near unanimous support of his House Bill 463, which officially took effect earlier this month. He shared the honor with his fellow co-chairman of the General Assembly's Judiciary Committee, State Senator Tom Jensen. Meanwhile, Tilley's colleague, 9th District State Representative Myron Dossett of Pembroke, announced today that he'll donate his salary from the 13 veto days of the 2011 extraordinary session of the General Session. As a fiscal conservative, Dossett says, "I believe it was unnecessary for legislators to be paid for veto days when the special session was essentially over. While my salary is only a drop in the bucket of the overall amount paid to legislators, I decided to donate this money to schools and various local organizations within my district." This is not the first time that Dossett has exercised what he terms fiscal discipline. Last year, Dossett also returned a large portion of his annual legislative postage allowance allotted to all members of the General Assembly. 4 local men were among Governor Steve Beshear's appointments to boards and commissions this week. Ray McCord, Richard Bradley, Chris Barnes, and John True were appointed as city council persons for the city of Water Valley in Graves County. McCord is a print shop manager for Latika Corporation. Bradley is a carpenter welder for C&W Lumber Company. Barnes is a parts sales employee for Hudson Incorporated, and True is a maintenance employee for Turner Holdings, LLC. The men will serve as city council persons until the next general election. A traffic violation led to the arrest of a Graves County woman after police reportedly found meth inside her vehicle. Around 7:35 this morning, 47-year-old Bobby Jones of Water Valley was stopped by a Marshall County Sheriff's deputy for not having a registration plate on her vehicle. After an investigation by the deputy, Jones was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and numerous traffic-related offenses. Jones was lodged in the Marshall County Detention Center. We have another recall to tell you about tonight. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and Big Lots are voluntarily recalling about 30,000 metal futon bunk beds. Officials say children behind the futon or in the ladder area of the bunk bed can get entrapped when the futon and its metal frame are lowered from the seated to the flat position. In March 2010, a 3-year-old Iowa boy died when he became entrapped at the head and neck and couldn't breathe or escape from the recalled bunk bed. Additionally, the Mita futon bunk beds have another hazard at the space between the last rung on the ladder and the futon mattress, which can allow a child's body to pass through, but not the head, posing an entrapment hazard. For more information, contact Big Lots toll-free at 866-244-5687 or visit the firm's website at www.biglots.com. Well, tonight at midnight, some local residents will experience a power outage. Pennyrile Electric will perform an outage at the Green Hills substation that will affect about 1,000 customers in the following areas: Butler Road, Fairview Road, and US 41 South from Green Hills to Kirkman's Hardware. Pennyrile Electric officials say this outage will last about 15 minutes while crews put a transformer within the substation. Well, officials from the Kentucky Education and Workforce Development Cabinet and Federal Emergency Management Agency today announced that Fulton County is among 4 additional counties that have qualified for disaster unemployment assistance, bringing the total to 21 counties. Fulton County residents who have lost work or whose businesses were damaged due to severe weather that occurred beginning April 22nd may be eligible for unemployment insurance benefits. Graves and Marshall counties were previously announced as being qualified for the benefits. The deadline to apply for unemployment insurance benefits is tomorrow. Weekday closures on a section of road in Hopkins County is being extended into next week. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd said the daytime closures along the Island Ford Road from the intersection of Carroll Gentry Road to the intersection of Charles Lennon Road will be from about 7 a.m. to 3:30 each day through the middle of next week. The closures are to allow crews to repair a number of base failures. Motorists who regularly travel this section of Island Ford Road should make advance alternate plans. 3 retiring City of Mayfield employees were recently recognized and honored at a dinner. Mayfield Assistant Fire Chief Dale Usher, Mayfield Building Official Jimmy Bostic, and Mayfield Assistant Police Chief Larry Alexander were presented retirement clocks from the city, as well as individual plaques from their departments and city council. Usher retired after 20 years of service as a firefighter paramedic for the Mayfield Fire and Police Department. Bostic will be retiring next month after 16 years of service in the Planning and Building Department. And Alexander retired after 23 years of service in the Mayfield Police Department. Mayor Cantrell said the dinner is an example of things to come in honor of retiring employees. Employees used funds raised through personal recycling at City Hall to pay for the dinner, which was prepared by several employees. The Vietnam Traveling Wall Memorial has made a stop at American Legion Post 73 in Murray for the weekend. Michelle Herron has more on the memorial and Murray's own hometown hero.
It represents the fact that freedom doesn't come free.
I personally spent 3 years in Vietnam.
The Traveling Wall Memorial has made its stop at Murray's American Legion Post 73 for the weekend.
And there are several names on this wall that were close, very close personal friends of mine, and in fact one that grew up right around the corner from me in Evansville, Indiana. So it has a special meaning to me.
The 80% replica represents the Washington, D.C. Memorial and lists all 58,272 names, with the last 6 being added just last year.
On this wall is listed everybody that was killed in Vietnam. There are no civilians on this wall. They are just military people that were killed as part of the Vietnam conflict.
Something Cub Scout Den leader Roy Day says our nation's future should know and understand.
Well, I was always taught that if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. So what we want to do is teach them about freedom so that they don't have to fight for it as hard as we have.
Now, this wall is something many Murray residents say they respect, but not only because of what it represents, but because of their own hometown hero.
He's our namesake. This is the American Legion Post 73, the Billy Lane Lawfer Post.
21-year-old Private First Class Billy Lane Lawfer volunteered to deploy to Vietnam after re-enlisting in the U.S. Army.
And he was guaranteed to stay in Germany. However, he had a barracks mate that was going to be sent to Vietnam, and apparently his barracks mate had a family, and Billy Lane Lawfer didn't. Billy Lane Lawfer volunteered to replace that guy and took the quota for going to Vietnam.
Just 6 days after deploying, Lawfer was killed in action while defending his squad, a deed that was awarded a Medal of Honor and a Purple Heart, two of the military's highest honors.
It's really something to have a Medal of Honor recipient buried in your home, in your town. There aren't that many Medal of Honor recipients to begin with, and you have to do something really extraordinarily heroic in order to get the Medal of Honor.
They died so we can be free, and we want the boys to always remember that.
As Elmer Davis once said, this nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave.
Events at Post 73 will continue throughout the weekend, remembering not only military veterans, but also police, fire, and government employees who have lost their lives for our country.